Kidnappers are being, you know, they are now holding what's it called, POS machines. Kidnappers having access to POS machine, so that when they kidnap you, they can conveniently credit their accounts. Yet Pantami, the minister of economy, what's it called, communication and digital economy, told us that after NIM registration it will reduce, and if such thing is carried out, they can conveniently, track the people involved. With this development now, who has Pantami government, who have they hold responsible? Who are those that register those SIMs? Who are those that register those POS that are now the kidnappers are using in our society? So for me, it's a deliberate. It's deliberate that this government in power, they are not interested in the people. They are not interested in our security, which I believe ordinarily security is one of the primary aim of governments, to protect the people, welfare of the people. But in this government, they are not even interested. And each time you want to criticize this government will come out boldly to challenge you. In a democratic setting, for me, I feel what former president of America said, what's it called, Obama, when he came to Ghana. He said that in a democratic society, for any democratic society to excel, there are basic things that must be there. One, independence of the judiciary. Two, honest police force. Three, he said freedom of the press. People should not be afraid saying how they feel. But this government, they came up with a policy of hate speech. All these are attempts to try as much as they could to cripple the populace. For me as a person, I feel dissatisfied completely with the way and manner this country is being run.
The need of a team that the federal government introduced, I definitely know for now, I am not sure that they've gotten the device to track culprits. I am not sure. I am not too sure they've gotten the device right now. But they are working on it. They've been able to at least, urge Nigerians, to register so that numbers of the phone numbers and all these things will be in their system. But I am very, very sure that the government has not gotten the mechanism, the technology to track people who are into any fraudulent means concerning this issue. Then, even if the government, they have the technology presently to track, even the police, as I can tell you, they can track you anywhere with your phone. They can track you anywhere. You see, but why it seems difficult for the government to do this is because the people who are, sponsoring these bandits, terrorism, and what have you, they are the highly connected people in power. Mind you, the government has made it known that they have list of names of people who are sponsoring Boko Haram and these bandits and all this stuff. They've told us several times that they have the names and they are going to prosecute them. But it's unfortunate that up till now, they've not been able to mention people who are behind it. It's just only recently that the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Malami, just told us that two persons, that is Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho, that they are the ones sponsoring Boko Haram, just because they've been arrested as, separatists. But they've not made us known all this while. Since last year, they've been saying they have list of names of people who are sponsoring Boko Haram. But they've not been able to bring this thing out. This is just because the people involved, they are highly connected. They are untouchable. So even if the government, per se, they can track these guys, but the people involved, they are highly connected. Most of them are in the corridors of power.
Now, we heard about the jailbreak in Ibadan and some other places now. To me, I believe that the whole thing boils down to bad governance. Because if we have good security, if the security men or the security agencies are doing their work as I suppose, I don't think that there should be jailbreak of an issue. But here we are now talking about jailbreak. If we talk about the train bombing there in Kaduna, that's another bad test on Nigerians. Okay, look at people are running from the main road, from the major road, traveling. Now the train where they told us that it is the first place for us to travel. Look at what is happening. So my sister, for me, I think we are in a failed government. We don't have a government in this country. We are suffering. We are suffering. We are not. This is what we bargained, by voting this government, this APC government. So I'm not happy.
I kept saying one thing. This time I'm privileged to speak to press. I said that when I was growing up as a small boy, there were things I never heard of. There are things I never come across in my life. But these days, call just 5-year-old boy, he will tell you what is kidnapping. He will tell you what is armed robbery. He will tell you what is bandits. And so many of these ugly experience that children are suffering under this government, where children of primary schools were being kidnapped, kept in unsafe places. Some of them are dying and their bodies are being taken to the street and dumped there. Yeah, the government in power is so comfortable. Man, it's a shame. If they feel Nigerians don't know what is happening, we know what is happening, and the more they will know, we are not interested in being economical with West again. The way we feel is the way we are going to say it. If they feel bitter, they should go ahead to arrest us. It's such that we are no longer comfortable being economical with West. This government in power, this President Muhammadu Buhari government has failed Nigerians completely. I tell you, you can't go to the market and buy anything. You can't go to the market and buy anything conveniently. You can't. For you to go to, say you want to go to the market with, let's say, 20,000, you are going to waste your time. In Nigeria, yet, what is the minimum wage? 30,000, and some of the states cannot even pay 30,000. A bag of rice sells for at least 25,000. So this government came just to destroy Nigerians, and in order to keep Nigerians on this level, one thing they must try as much as possible, as much they could do, is to make sure that Nigerians are hungry, is to make sure there is no money in their pockets, because once there is no food for them, there is no money, they can't sell, they can't express themselves. They are always afraid. This is just what this government has made up its mind to cripple Nigerians, in terms of their financial capacity, in terms of their economic capacity. They have crippled Nigerians.
For the federal government and the financial institutions mandating people to get vaccine. If you remember the first vaccine that came on board, most of the hospitals said they don't have the second dose. Then some of them that even took that first dose of those vaccine, still they will still tell you that they contracted COVID. Now federal government making it mandatory that every government worker or every civil servant and even the CBN itself bringing a policy that on or before 1st of December, if you are not vaccinated, you'll be going to COVID test every 72 hours or every week, twice in a week, to present your COVID test that you are negative. I think this is just forcing Nigerians out of their way, because we are, as the Constitution states, that we are not going to, as in we have freedom of speech, freedom to express ourselves, freedom to even do things on the way, as in, but mandating it on Nigerians to say you, or civil servants, that you must be vaccinated, otherwise you forfeit your salary or you go for half pay and so on and so. I don't think it is called for.
Jailbreak in Oyo State. As a concerned Nigerian, this regular act of breaking jails to be is a concerned national security. It's a threat to our national security. This is not the first time in this very government, this APC government, there have been a jailbreak in Edo State, jailbreak in Imo State, jailbreak in Kwara, jailbreak in almost 6 other states. This, I think, should be the 7th time jailbreak is of a great national concern. As such, the National Security Advisor under this government should be questioned. If for any reason jailbreaks constantly happening in a society, in a country like Nigeria, that means nowhere where hardened criminals are kept, and suddenly these jails are being broken, and these hardened criminals can finally find their way to anywhere they feel like staying. And today we are busy running around claiming we are fighting Boko Haram. It can't work. That means government is responsible. Government is responsible to this security situation in Nigeria. Government should be held responsible. If those who are serving in our correctional centers cannot devise adequate security measure to protect our correctional centers, and we come up today to tell us there is jailbreak, there is jailbreak at every interval, yet we are running around sending policemen here and there, we are only wasting our resources.
So they don't want to make their names known to Nigerians. That is just it. So even if you can track the so-called bandits or terrorists, can you go to the bush to track them? You cannot track them because they are in the bush, they are in the forest. You know, but the people per se who are sponsoring them, the government knows, because through the phone calls and what have you, they should be able to connect to people they always call on food. So me, I'm of the opinion that people who are sponsors of this terrorism, they are known by the government. So it's left for them to bring out the names and tell Nigerians who and who are sponsors of these acts. But as far as I am concerned, the government, I feel they can track these guys if they want to. With the name that they've introduced, of course they should be able to track them. But it will not be easy to track, those perpetrating this terrorism because they are in the forest. But they can track those who are sponsors, of these acts. That exposing them now is the problem. So what we don't know is why are they hiding these guys from letting the world to know that these are people who are responsible for terrorism. That is the question we have to ask the government. That is just my take.
So what do you say about this Oyo jailbreak? Like this is like seventh time that this same issue happened. What do you have to say about it?
Yes, the Oyo jailbreak, of course, we've been witnessing this since last year of jailbreak and what have you. You see, but all I need to say about this is these things are being they are being perpetrated by experts. If you watch the way this jailbreak is being done, is being executed, you will definitely know that these guys are not just amateur. They are professionals in the field. The way the operandis at which, the modus operandis at which they attack, you will know that these guys are trained. So to me, I feel there are more to it that can meet the eyes.